Today I wanted to do a makeup video before and after, so this is the before. As I've got older, I've worn less and less makeup. Plus 50, I've noticed so many wrinkles, fine lines, open pores, bit of sagging skin, and the more makeup that I wear, the more it seems to accentuate these wrinkles. It seems to get caked into them. So I've over the years, my makeup routine has become less and less, and I don't wear a ton of makeup nowadays. Also, as I've got older, I tend to use products that are kind of a two-in-one. So at the moment, I've prepped my skin, I've cleansed it, I've got under eye cream, but I've got a moisturiser which has also got an SPF in, which is really important as you get older to stop any more wrinkles forming. Another thing that I started to do to save time as well is to wear a tan on my face. Now, you've got to be careful because some tans are for your body, and if you put them on your face, that they're not that brilliant really. They can tend to clog your skin up. So if I am wearing tan on my face, I will make sure that I exfoliate that little bit more, because it tends to get into your pores and it can look a little bit unsightly. So the only thing I've got on my skin at the moment is the under eye makeup, an SPF moisturiser and a little bit of tan. No eyebrows, as you can see, and a little bit blotchy and a few fine lines appearing. So this is my morning makeup routine. I've already got SPF in my moisturiser, but I do love two-in-one products. So at the moment I'm using something called a Helio Care. It's a colour foundation, not really a heavy foundation, more of a light one, but it's also got another SPF in. I don't use these products on my neck because as I've got older, I've noticed my neck is aging a little bit, which I don't really like. So I just keep my makeup just to here. I obviously blend it here so that I haven't got a makeup line here. So my first product I put on is the Helio Care SPF. It's great for holidays as well. It's a bit more of a lighter coverage, but it tends to give me a little bit of a glow on my skin, which I really like. I don't tend to use a lot of it, that much, and I'm not precious with my makeup. I will use some brushes now and again, but overall I use my fingers and I just throw it on. I like to keep makeup really simple, my makeup routine. And I find that using my fingers with moisturiser especially, I can get in all those creases around my eyes and nose. So I start with the moisturising foundation on my cheeks and work it outwards. I blend towards the end of my face so I don't have a brown ring around my face. I love this moisturising foundation. It's got a bit of a glow in. I don't know whether you can tell. It tends to give my skin a little bit of a glow. Next product I use is a loose powder. I'm applying it with a brush. I like the powder with the brush because it tends to get just into the nooks and crannies again of my face. I don't use too much, but just use it to set the foundation, and I'll blend it a touch onto my neck. But again, I don't tend to wear makeup here because I find that it accentuates any fine lines and wrinkles. The next product I'm using, it's a bronzer from a small makeup range called Delilah. Really nice makeup range, quite small, but lovely products. I tend to use a bronzer just on the outer upper area of my face. If I wear colour bronzer or blusher here, it tends to accentuate any areas here that I want to try and hide. So I keep it up and out corners of the face. I think the people that do contouring brilliantly, it looks amazing, where they have dark and light and they thin the nose and they kind of sculpt the face with it. But I probably do have time, but I don't really want to spend that much time on contouring. So I just put a little bit of bronzer, upper, outer cheeks, a little bit on my forehead, and if I'm wearing a lower cut dress, I'll tend to wear some on my décolleté as well. Next product is a blush. Again, I just have a touch of colour on the very upper outer cheek area. I have freckles, I'm quite pale, other than the false tan that I wear. So I tend to wear more peachy blush rather than a pink blush. Tiny bit of colour on the upper part of my cheeks. One product that I've started using more recently is a highlighter, and I'm really loving it. Again, I'm not precious with the products that I use, so this is probably just a Rimmel or a Max Factor. I can't even tell because I've lost the lid for it. What I tend to do, I use a smaller brush and I'll just dab it on my upper outer cheekbone. I'll smile and I'll put a little bit on the apple of my cheeks, and then I tend to put a little bit up here as well. If I'm wearing a lower cut dress or off the shoulder, I tend to put highlighter on my collarbones and sometimes my shoulders, just to highlight those areas as well. Now, as you can see, I'm quite pale. I just don't have eyebrows, and if you look really closely, they're quite odd. One is here, one starts up here. Often I'll go to the salon and I'll get them tinted and shaped. Not that there's very much to shape really, but then after that it will give me a bit of an outline so that when I'm drawing them on in the morning, I've got something to follow. So all I do with my eyebrows, I have seen some brilliant videos where they measure here and here and here, so you know exactly where your eyebrows should be. But again, I'm not that precious, so I'm just gonna pop my eyebrows on by hand. They never match, but that's okay. The videos of people who have their eyebrows perfect, I think they look fabulous. I probably do have time, but I just I don't want to be spending all that time on eyebrows. So I've done my eyebrows, I've just done them by hand in a pale, in a brown colour, not dark brown. By hand, they don't match, but they're fine. Next, mascara. Again, I'm not precious. This one is I think it's a Max Factor, Maybelline. I tend to wear mascaras that give me a little bit of volume. This one at the moment I'm using has got, I think it's got fibres in that build onto the lashes, that build them up, that give them volume and kind of a false lash effect. I think that's a little bit misleading because I never look like I've got false lashes on. So yeah, mascara is the next one. Mascaras tend to leak on me. I don't know whether it's me. So I've tried wearing waterproof mascara, but that's really difficult to get off of an evening. But it's great for holidays, at least if you're swimming or you're in the pool, you know that it won't be leaking, you won't get panda eyes. But I have been to the gym before with mascara on, and I'll go into the changing rooms after the session and I've got big panda eyes here, which looks ridiculous. So yeah, I've tried lots of different mascaras. This one at the moment, Surreal by Maybelline, is working okay. Next thing is lips. I tend to wear a lip liner just to emphasise my lips. It's slightly darker than the lipstick I wear, but you do have to be careful because if you've got a darker lip line and a paler lipstick, it looks a little bit dated. So I'll just draw the lip liner on. I've got quite thin lips, so I tend to emphasise the Cupid's bow a little bit more. The last bit of makeup that I use is a lip gloss. I've tried lipstick, but it gives me a matte look. I prefer a little bit more of a shimmer, and also it tends to be a bit too heavy for me, I think, lipstick. So I just wear a lip gloss. I will make sure that the gloss and the liner blend well together, so I haven't got that super defined lip liner that's darker than the lip gloss. That's it. So I prepped the face, I had eye cream, a little bit of pre-tan on. I have an SPF moisturiser which I put down on my neck to try to stop that getting any older. Then I had a foundation which is very light, but it's got an SPF and it tends to give my skin a little bit of a glow, which I really like. And then we put a little bit of bronzer up at outer cheek area, a tiny little bit of blush just to give me a little bit of colour, highlighter, which I love. I don't know whether you can tell when I smile that it highlights my cheeks a little. I've drawn my eyebrows on, not perfect by any means. Mascara, tiny bit of brow pencil, 2-in-1 product, mid upper eyelids, lip liner, lip gloss. Now all I've got to do is my hair. I do like to keep my makeup routine quite simple. Even though I do have a full face of makeup, I do think it's more of a natural look. And if I am going out, I will wear a bit more of a dramatic eye and maybe some false eyelashes, but I really do struggle to put those on. They're not the easiest thing. So really simple morning makeup routine. It takes me about 2 minutes to do, which I love.